What is up, YouTubelets? It is PuddlesA1 here, and I'm bringing you another narrated Wi-Fi battle. So today, guys, I got an Ubers match against Reaper71, and before I talk about him, I'm going to talk about myself. So first of all, guys, my nose is kind of stuffy because the Michigan weather up here is frightful, but the fire is so delightful, so since there's no place to go, I'm going to continue on with what I was saying. And I also have a comment question of the day, and that is going to be, what do you guys plan on doing for your last day on Earth? I personally will be going to sleep tonight and waking up tomorrow. I would like to know what you guys are going to do. Please post in the comments. Now, this is Reaper71's third Ubers match ever, so forgive him. He did say he was a noob, but I don't believe in the word noob, so there's that. Anyway, here we go, guys. He's going to lead off with the Kyogre. I'm going to lead off with the Fortress, and this game is really stally because right here is really a pinnacle moment in the match because I get to set up all of the hazards that I have in my Fortress, which means both layers of spikes, or both layers of toxic spikes and 3 layers of spikes. So you see the first layer of toxic spikes come up here as he, oh, excuse me, jeez, I burped. And as he goes into his Chansey and sets up these stealth rocks. Now, I'm going to go for the layer of spikes here, thinking that he might want to switch out, but he doesn't. He goes for the toxic, predicting me to switch out. That's not the case. I can set up all over a Chansey's face. So, I am kind of experienced in Ubers. I'm not going to say I'm really good, but I am experienced in Ubers. So I figured he would go out into another Pokemon here, not predicting his Giratina to come in. I was thinking a different Pokemon to want to set up and sweep. So the best Pokemon in this case is Arceus here. And I do go for the Rapid Spin, get away his rocks. I'm going to Volt Switch out, and I believe I go into my Groudon? Yeah, okay, cool. I go to my Groudon here just to get rid of the sun, or to set up the sun and make sure that there's no rain anymore so that his judgments won't be doing that much, or his hydro pumps. Does he get hydro pump? Or a surf, whatever. His water stab of choice, it will not be doing that much. So I'm going to switch out here knowing that he really can't do much to my Fortress, and I'm just going to keep setting up the rest of my hazards because I have one more layer of each spike to set up as he keeps going for Calm Minds. Now, he can Calm Mind up all he wants because he really can't do anything to my Fortress, and even if he does kill it, I can immediately go into my Terrakion and take this thing out. So I'm going to just let him Calm Mind up, and seeing how much he's going for, it's really kind of silly just because he should be going for some type of move by now as I set up my last layer, I believe, my Toxic Spikes, and he's going to go for the Spatial Rend here. I do resist it, but he's like +9, and it's going to do a lot, and it's a crit, actually. Wow, okay, he got a crit. That's a critical hit. Did not know that at all. This is especially defensive Fortress, too. I forgot about that. So I go for the Volt Switch, knowing that he's probably going to hit me on this turn. I'm going to go into my Terrakion, and I'm going to smack this Water Arceus in the face with a close combat. All my fists are just going to be all up in this thing, this Aqueous, if you will, and this thing's going to die. So, also, another word of the wise, there's a lot of after-turn effects here. I sped it up as much as I really wanted to. I don't want to go overboard with it, but I do want a little chance to catch up with my narration because I do tend to get ahead of myself and speed up my vocal process. So hopefully this will slow me down and you guys can understand me more. So most of the Giratinas that I've been running into are the Red Sleep Talk, Will-O-Wisp, and Dragon Tail sets. So I know he's going to want to go for the Will-O-Wisp, knowing just because the way he brought it in, not only to be immune to the close combat, but because he can hinder the physical ability of my Terrakion with a Will-O-Wisp. So what I do here is I go into my Ho-Oh, set up the sub, so I know he can't Dragon Tail me out immediately. He has to break it after 2 Dragon Tails. So I'm going to go for the Brave Bird here, and it does a huge chunk to this Giratina, so I automatically know that this thing is not physically defensive. But the thing is, I'm not sure if I want to set up another sub and let this Giratina go for the rest, and then I can go for the recover on my next turn. And I don't really know if I want to do that or if I just want to take it out with the Brave Bird, but I decided to just go for the Brave Bird just because the recoil won't be that much, and in the long run it saves battle turns, it saves recoil on my Ho-Oh and other things, because as you see the recoil there, I don't think I took anything. I think I actually took like 2 damage or something. I'm not entirely sure. You guys can go ahead and watch the video again, but whatever. He brings in his Kyogre here is the thing that matters, and now I'm going to switch out fearing the surf, so I'm going to go into my Fortress because I'm thinking this thing might be choice in some way as he goes for the Thunder. So I'm thinking maybe he might be choice Specs. I do not know for sure, but I don't see Leftovers. I don't see Life Orb, so that kind of tells me that he might be choice. So I'm going to go into my Groudon here, set up my rocks, and hopefully go for Dragon Tail, but he reveals Ice Beam, so I'm thinking maybe he's E-Belt, but then I was like, no, the only reason why he brings this thing in is because he's probably Resto Chesto, and that's just my guess. I'm not entirely sure. I don't know how this thing is working or what it's doing, but we see here that his third move of choice is Surf. He may very well be Expert Belt. I really don't know. It's just too early to tell. So my Groudon dies. It's fine. I don't really need Sun anymore, which automatically makes my Ho-Oh pointless because Sacred Fire will be nerfed as soon as he brings back in his Kyogre. So the obvious switch into Chansey here was obvious, but I still wanted to go for the Draco Meteor just to get some damage off on this stupid thing. So that's what's going to happen. He's going to take a lot from those entry hazards, which is great, and then he's going to get poisoned too, toxic to be precise, and I'm going to drop that Draco Meteor. It does a really big chunk to this thing, and you guys have to remember that Chansey and Ubers is such a monster because it does get a Violite. It has like 100,000 bajillion base special defense, and then with a Violite is like 2 of that, so it didn't take that well, let's be honest. I am Life Orb modest, and this is Kiram White, so there's that. He's going to go for the Soft Boil, kind of just being a jerk, and I'm going to switch out here, thinking that he's going to go for the status move, and I go into my Ho-Oh because he is pointless as he decides to go for the Toxic. I really don't like that most Chanseys carry Toxic nowadays. I miss the times when I would run into the ones that carried Thunder Wave because those ones were better for me to deal with because I did have the Groudon that could resist it, and now I don't have a resist except for Fortress. So I'm just going to go for the Brave Bird as he goes for the Protect. He probably should have just switched out here or gone into his Latias, which he does have still. I keep forgetting that he does, but he's going to try and get the Double Protect. It does not get the Double Protect, and I'm going to take him out with the Brave Bird. Again, I don't take that much from the recoil, but I'm going to take a lot from the poison damage just because I'm toxic, because Chansey's stupid. And now he's going to go into the Kyogre just because he can get his Rain back up, and I'm still fearing that he's Resto Chesto. So my plan here is to switch out, go into my Reshiram, set up the, or hopefully take this thing out first, and then set up the Tailwind before I die so that I can outspeed the Kabutops when it comes in, because I thought up until he never brought in its Kabutops that it probably had Rapid Spin and Stealth Rock, but then I saw that Stealth Rock was on the Chansey, automatically telling me that is an offensive Kabutops, which is really scary because his rain is up. Have I been saying sun? I don't know. Whatever. His rain's up. I'm going to go for the Draco Meteor as he brings in his Latias here. Does not take that as well as he probably thought he would, and he's gonna set up the Calm Mind, and what he probably should have done here was gone for the Recover, but he probably thought he would take that better just because Soul Dew is that magic +1, but it's not going to be that good against a modest Reshiram that has a stab super effective Draco Meteor. So the second one, even at -2, is definitely going to take that out. And all he has left is his Kabutops. And now here, what I plan on doing is hopefully living a waterfall and not getting flinched. And I can get off a Tailwind and hopefully take this thing out. And even if I miss this Focus Blast, I have the other guys to come into play and do some work. So I go for the Tailwind. I do live on 86, which was really surprising to me. I forgot that I was neutral to the Water Stab as opposed to super effective. So I actually hit the Focus Blast, take out this Kabutops, and that's going to be good game, Reaper71. Don't call yourself a noob, dude. You did really good. Except for those plays with the Kyogre, you probably should have went for Surf just because its stabs were effective in the rain. But just remember that for future reference. Anyway, guys, if he has a channel, you can go ahead and click from the Kyogre all the way to the Kabutops. It'll take you directly to his channel. Go ahead and like his stuff, favorite it, do whatever you want. If he does not, go ahead and click the Groudon to see his last video. What? Go ahead and click the Groudon to see my next video. Click the Fortress to see my next one when I upload it. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Tumblr. Add me on Skype. And PuddlesA1 is the name throughout all that. Thank you guys for watching. Peace, love, and later, Gators.